I was telling my wife the other day that the Brits really have it dialed in with their use of cunt. We have a very narrow definition of it, where theirs is kind of a almost a universal that will fit anyone, kind of like fucker for us.
It's not just the Brits, right? It's the Australians, the Kiwis, basically everybody over in that hemisphere. They are more they've taken artistic licensing with the word cunt, where here you say it and it's like almost for some reason, I don't know, like the what 80s and 90s, the word cunt was turned into the female equivalent of the N word, which makes no sense to me.
They did not like that word.
Oh no. What did you call me?
Some of them, well, most of them still don't.
That's interesting that you say that, because
It
my
just
sister and
stands for
I
can't understand normal thinking.
my sister and I have different mothers. And I posted something on Facebook one time about somebody and I called her a cunt. And I think it was a politician or something like that. Actually, I think it was Kamala Harris.
I was gonna say Kamala Harris.
And I called her, you know what it was? She gave a folded flag to one of the fucking police brutality case people, or the family of, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that fucking pissed me off, because that's a special honor that we hold for our people. And she gave a fucking folded flag in a fucking triangular case and everything to these fucking people because of that. And that made me mad, and I called her a fucking cunt on Facebook. So my sister's mother, she commented on it and was like, I understand where you're coming from, but you should never call us that. And I was like, fuck that shit. Get the fuck out of here.
What do you think?
Well,
What do you
now,
think
I
is
will
more
say
stinging,
this.
cunt or twat?
Cunt is more
So-
stinging. Twat means nothing.
So my one of my drivers is a Brit, and he twat's his favorite word. He refers to just about everybody as a twat.
Well, you know where
Well-
the slang bloody comes from, right?
A period.
I don't actually.
Well, that's what a cunt is.
No, not cunt, but bloody. Bloody hell. Just the use of the word bloody. It's Mike.
Period.
Right, had menstrual, yeah.
Menstrual.
Digital 410 Productions proudly presents the What's in Your Head podcast.
Digitized live from the
Your company name here.
studios in Cape Coral, Florida. It's the What's in Your Head podcast.
By the way,
You went at it
welcome
with
to
the
another
proper
episode of the
word.
What's in Your Head podcast. This one will probably get taken down too, but thanks for hanging out with us. For myself, Mike, and Morgan. Yeah, this one will clearly be.
Good night, everybody.
Get all you fucking cunts.
The word cunt is one of the oldest known words in the English language for the female genitalia, which roots going back over 1,000 years. Old English and Proto-Germanic roots. It's likely stems from the Proto-Germanic word kunton, K-U-N-T-O-N, or kuntun, though no Old English form has been formally documented. Middle Ages. By the Middle Ages, it appeared kunt, C-U-N-T-E, or kunt, probably kunt,
Kunti?
used fairly literally and without vulgar or offensive connotation it carries today. Similar words in other languages, related terms are found across in the Indo-European language. Latin is cunus, C-U-N-N, like me, cunus. Old Norse is kunta. Middle Dutch is kunt. And let's see, medieval uses, blah, blah, blah. In the U.S., cunt is widely regarded as one of the most offensive terms, especially directed to or at a person. In the UK, Ireland, Australia, and New Zealand, as formerly mentioned, usage is more nuanced. In some contexts, it can be used informally or harmoniously. Cheeky cunt, funny cunt, though it's still offensive when used with malicious intent. Feminist reclamation. Some feminist writers and activists has attempted to reclaim the word, kind of like in Clerks 2. We're taking it back.
Oh, we're taking it back. Yeah, I remember that. Have you seen the new one?
No, I'm sorry. I don't
Not
need
interested.
8-year-old fucking Silent Bob. I'm sorry. Two was enough.
Kind of pushing it a little bit.
Well, the problem is your core audience are in their 40s and 50s now, right?
Yeah.
So humor aimed at 18 to 13-year-old boys was great when we were all 13 to 18 years old.
Yeah.
But just like the same reason our parents didn't find Mallrats and Silent Bob and Jay Strikes Back funny in 1999 and 2000 because they were in their 40s and 50s and the humor wasn't made for them.
Right.
And so now to have a 50 and 60-year-old fucking Silent Bob and Jay standing in a coffee shop and
In the same attire, talking the same dick, beer, and fart jokes.
yeah, when one of them's clearly been on Ozempic for 30 years, it's just, I
Yeah.
don't know. It's not for us.
Yeah.
Hopefully their videos get wide range appeal to. I mean, I will say Clerks in and of itself, you could probably watch at any age because it was funny, it was well written, it was nuanced. You know, it wasn't in your face, it wasn't slapstick. It was a character driven independent film that was fucking hilarious and well written.
The black and white was a little weird. I found that a little strange.
Well, it was a thing back in the 80s and 90s. It was
Yeah.
a lot of art Frenchy films were black and white. And let's be honest, the guy racked up his credit cards and it's cheaper and easier to develop
Film.
black and white film. That's
Right.
why in high school back in the 90s, you did black and white photography. One, because it's artistic, but two, it's a hell of a lot easier and require less chemicals. And so that's why, you know, most manual dark rooms are black and white film. It's just cheaper at the end of the day.
Right.
But I think it holds up. I think if you were like, if someone were to take Clerks and run it through AI and put color in it, I just think it'd be weird.
Right.
I won't be
That makes
surprised
sense.
if they do it, but yeah.
You didn't do your
Nothing
intro.
censored in media appears as cunt or C word. It's weird to me.
Nothing appears in media as that?
No, it says it's often censored in media as
Oh.
C ** T or the C word, which even when I worked in radio, it made no sense to me that you can say effing or effed. It's like if the intent of the word is the same, then who gives a fuck what word you're implying to it, right? Just like when people like Christians would say "holy cow" instead of Jesus Christ, it's like, well, one, the connotation's the same, but two, now you're making fun of Hindus' God instead of your own. So, why are you switching out your God for theirs? You know?
Well.
Which
They
one?
don't believe in a Hindu God. That's why.
At the end of the
Oh,
day,
they believe in multiples.
You didn't do your intro, you fuck.
I did. But you were talking over it. I said, by the way, welcome to the What's in Your Head podcast. And then
You didn't do your regular intro, you fuck.
What's up? OP5. Welcome to another episode of the What's the Scuttlebutt podcast. Nay, welcome to another
That's
episode
the
of What's in
wrong
Your
one.
Head podcast. And the intro's not even a
And
second.
the Fail to Fail podcast.
Yeah,
Let's bring
podcast.
it back. Hell, let's bring back the Tackle Your Personal
Hold-
Best podcast.
Welcome everybody to the Waterman and
Bulls
D
and
Train
paddles.
show. Oh, I have
Oh.
episode 1 of that somewhere.
Yeah?
He sat in here drunk off his ass trying to play guitar,
Oh, man.
which is how the Waterman and D Train show came to be because, and it's not really a hack on him. I invite either one of you to sit in your room for an hour and a half and do an episode of the show by yourself and see how
Right.
fucking hard it is. But yeah, him trying to do something by himself, I would kind of jump in to kickstart a conversation or get it
Yeah.
after a while.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
even for me,
Yeah,
in the
the
beginning,
early
it was
stuff
kind of
was
difficult.
rough.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, you think that was rough? Fun fact, let's talk about it.
Uh-oh.
I was never meant to have a podcast in that world. Zito was not a fan of mine. And maybe he's right. Maybe I don't have any talent. I mean, let's be honest. I remember one time my mic wasn't working and Stan was complaining about it and said something about Richard, and Richard came in and said, well, Zito said, don't have to worry about it. There's no reason for him to be on the air. So when your program director's like, but anyhow, because they're on the vanguard of media, they wanted to get into podcasting 8.5 years after it's already been fucking around.
Yeah.
And so he went to Dave. He wanted Dave to do a podcast. And Dave brought him like the first episode that he did on his Walmart grade Android phone in his garage.
His garage or your garage?
His garage. No, I was not supposed to have any whatnot. And then
Yeah.
Stan went to him and said, well, have D-Train do like a half-hour episode on World War II stuff. Well, I was smart enough to know that anything you record in that building belongs to them.
Yeah.
And so when it came down to, hey, can you do a podcast? I said, sure. And this is like December, right before Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, yeah, I'll have something for you middle of January. And I set shit up here, recorded it on my own time because they weren't going to pay me for it anyhow on my
Yeah.
own equipment. And like, sure, those episodes technically you have because they're on your web server, but you don't own the rights to them because I came up with the name. I recorded them on my own equipment, recorded on my own time. You never paid me a fucking dime for it.
So they have a couple of podcast episodes of yours?
Probably the first, I don't know, first 6 or 7. What's the Scuttlebutt still on their server and Waterman D-Train show.
Really?
Uh-huh. Well, I'm sure they've deleted them by now, but for a while they were up there.
Maybe.
But yeah, I went out of my way to make sure not to record anything on any of their equipment. Nothing. Never recorded a single episode in that facility or anything. Every episode's been recorded either in this house or in my truck.
Yeah.
In the mobile or at a campfire by Cecil B. Webb.
Hey.
Hey. For you young kids out there, even if you're in your 20s, you
Get
want
off my lawn.
Hey, you damn kids, get off the lawn, you fucking assholes. Your life will be easier if you learn a simple phrase. This phrase could be used with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your boss, your neighbor, your fishing buddy. And that is, my bad, fucked up, won't happen.
Simple. To the point.
Because what's the alternative? Oh, that's wasn't me. I didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Example.
Excuses.
We have a policy here in the Abernathy house. Mike knows it. Enter through the garage. Why is that, Don? Because I don't have a screen in front porch. Why would you need a screen? Because I got a fucking beagle that's obsessed with rabbits and I got a neighborhood full of fucking rabbits.
Is it bunny time? So Chloe has discovered that every day, close to the same time, bunnies come out and sit in the yard. Which looks like they haven't come out yet, or she's scared them off. So she sits here every day with her tongue sitting on the ledge, just waiting for bunnies. She so wants to chase the bunnies. Chloe.
Kid comes home, opens the garage. The rule is open the garage, walk into garage, shut garage door before opening utility room door because chances are the dog will be on the other side. Not only does she come home and not open or shut the garage, she has a handful, arms full of bags and boxes. So comes in, opens, puts the shit on the floor. I'm out there getting ready to fly my drone to see find the beagle. Here she comes, just like we're in Kentucky on a fucking rabbit hunt. She comes hauling ass, ripping through the field, chasing a fucking rabbit. So we went over there, and I finally just jumped on her. Came back, and I was like, yo, what's up? Well, you guys didn't have the utility door shut. The rule is you shut the garage door. Well, blah, blah, blah. And I finally said, look, just say, my bad. I fucked up. I apologize. Quit blaming it on other people. At a certain point in life, you have to take responsibility for your
Personal responsibility, yeah.
especially when it comes to work or job.
Mhm.
You have to.
Yeah, I mean, because your boss isn't going to sit there. I mean, it's one thing if you need to explain something,
Mm-hmm.
you know, why, you know, what happened, because sometimes people are so quick to just assume and then just jump down the first person that they see.
And that's when you open it with, well, what happened was.
Yeah, yeah. That's the part two. The first part is the my bad, and then the second part is, well, what happened was.
What happened was.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I definitely, you know, take responsibility for the, you know, if you fucked up, take responsibility for it. But in the same token, just what you said, you know, well, this is why what happened, and, you know, Don't be so pissed at me.
Well, she's like, well, that's why we have 2 doors. I said, well, technically we have fucking 3. You got the garage door, the utility room door that goes to the garage, and the utility room door that goes to the kitchen. Yes, one of those wasn't shut. The airlock system in this space station wasn't fucking procured, but you left the loading dock bay open, shut the loading bay dock door first, and then open the fucking exterior door.
Yep.
Because that's the one that's blocking you from the outside world.
Yeah, it's like making sure that the fence gate is shut before opening the slider. Or the porch door, or, making sure the dogs are away, or slipping out the front door before the dogs even get there. Yeah, that's is she growing at all? She seems kind of small for a beagle.
She's skinny-ish, but she's all legs. Our other beagle have shorter legs. I think she's a 13-inch. I haven't really measured her legs, but yeah, she all legs. That's for goddamn sure.
Yeah, she seems like, I thought beagles were, of course, I may be trying to compare them with like hound dogs
basset
and shit.
hound.
Yeah.
I want to go back for a second when you were talking about, finding, the FAFO about skipping school.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, I had a chronic problem of skipping school. I lost my way, saw something shiny, whatever, a lot of times, and just didn't end up going. So I missed 5 days one time, and I go back to class on the following Monday, and they call me down to the disciplinary, guy's office. And he goes, "Hey, welcome back." And I'm like, "Hey, thanks. It's great." And he goes, "Well, you missed 5 days of school, so we're going to have to suspend you for 10 days. I said, wait. I said, "Do you understand the irony of this?" And he goes, "Oh, 100% I do.
But we
It's
just can't
district policy."
No, that, and they just
Because
can't find
if-
anybody who'd be willing to be the supervisor at in-school suspension, which is something we had because they realized,
Oh, yeah.
so let's get Tina, who's getting ready to retire next year, make her sit in a fucking room with these dipshits for 8 hours and put them in school suspension.
Yep.
So I said, "Does it start now?" And he's like, "Yep." I'm like, "All right, I'll see you in 10 days, baby."
Yep.
And as I'm walking out, everybody's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I got suspended for not being here." And they're like, "That's so stupid." And I'm like, "Absolutely."
Well, see, I had my senior year, I had a 12 period, but I had morning and afternoon lockout. So that meant my day started at second period and then ended at 11th period instead of 12th. But I also had 2 study halls and a lunch. And so they had my study halls butted up, one before lunch, one after lunch. So I had ceramics class, study hall, lunch, study hall. So I would get a pass from the ceramics teacher to come back down to the ceramics class during study hall, and I would just skip those 3 fucking periods and then constantly get detentions. And so my senior year, I probably had 21 detentions for skipping study hall or not being where I was supposed to be. So when I was told the study hall teacher I was in ceramics class, I was sitting having 3 lunch periods or whatever. But once again, I knew the rules to the game, and that was a consequence I was willing to pay. You mean it only cost me 45 minutes after school to have three have an hour and 45-minute lunch period?
Yeah.
I'm fucking down. It was worth the trade. But once again, you knew the rules. And
Absolutely.
You played the game.
yeah, and
You played the game into your favor.
And that's a very good point too. No
And
one
that's
thinks you
life.
have to play the game.
Yeah.
Right? You can sit the game out
Mhm.
and then you don't have to deal with the consequences to the game. Or you can find a game that
Well,
better suits your lifestyle.
Yeah, it's like the people who get pissed because rich people pay less taxes. They understand all of the loopholes.
Yeah.
And
That's why
work
they
the
have their
tax
money in
code
the
to
first
their
place.
advantage.
Yeah.
Well, absolutely. I was talking to a kid not too long ago. He was bragging about how he could, how he had enough money where he could buy all of this really expensive stuff at my store. Okay, that's great. But rich people don't get rich by buying everything new.
Rich
Yeah.
people
I said,
are some of the biggest tightwads you'll ever meet. They're the last
They
one
are.
to get tipped
Well,
when you show up at their house to do service work.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Warren Buffett. I mean, the guy drove a 97 Lincoln Town Car for, 25 years.
Bernie Sanders.
Yeah. And
Here's the thing I don't get about that. And Bernie Sanders kind of walked him into this message too on Rogan the other day. and I get it, for people like Bernie, it helps their cause, but it is not helpful for the everyday man. And I don't get where this concept comes from. People treat money like it's a non-renewable resource. Like we have a worldwide bag of Skittles, and whenever Elon Musk reaches in and grabs a handful of Skittles, there's going to be less Skittles available to you. That's not the way it fucking works. And so you hear Bernie, well, Elon Musk has all this money. Well, it's not like there's only so much money in the world and he has more, so now I don't get any. It doesn't work that way. You get as much money as you can go that you can acquire through your skills, your knowledge, or whatever. It's not like, sorry, we only had 3 Skittles in the bag and fucking Elon Musk took 2 of them, so no Skittles. That's not the way it works. So stop.
Well, and unfortunately, so many people. I don't think anybody think that that's how it works. Really, I think it's jealousy. It's jealousy. It's sitting. It's sitting around looking at fucking Elon, on X and going, he did all this shit. He's got all this money, or Bill Gates.
But he took the risk,
right?
Well, Bill Gates dicked over his friends.
Okay,
to be successful,
and that's fine, and that happens too.
That's the thing,
Well,
that's the thing.
Too. Apparently, he sued his way to be. He sued his way to the title of being co-creator of Tesla, and he never did. He's sued, so he's more like Edison in that way.
Oh, so I was going to say he's more Edison than Tesla.
Yeah, he's more Edison than Tesla.
Yeah.
But
I mean, ultimately, that's what it is. It's jealousy. I want what you have, and fuck you for having it, and I don't. That's what it boils down to. And everybody, I think, to a certain extent, can be guilty of it because you want all your wants and everything, and you know that financially they can get it. Financially, you're stuck in it. Like, I want to buy a fucking house, and I see all my peers and everybody in my age group and older buying fucking houses, right? And sometimes I'm like, fuck you. I'm like, there's kids that are, there's a couple 22-year-old kids that I work with at work that own their own homes by themselves. And they do the same fucking job that I do. And it's like, I've never once.
And Dad give them the down payment.
Yeah, you don't know. You don't know the detail. I mean, you don't know the detail.
And to Morgan's point, I'm at my local Publix so often every fucking day.
Yeah.
He's a stock boy, and every day I hear him giving stock tips to his manager. Now his manager's my age, and he's like 20, 18. I think he's on the spectrum, but super wicked smart kid. But he keeps talking about how he spends all his money and how he's getting all these returns. And I'm thinking, yeah, but the difference between you and your boss is your boss is paying mortgage. You're living at home with your parents. You can sink your entire paycheck into your fucking stock portfolio, where this guy's making a car payment, insurance payment, mortgage, electric, yada, yada, yada. So the amount of money he has available. So to Morgan's point, a lot of those kids may have had, perfect example. My nephew went to school for welding. He's not a welder.
Right.
He was born on 9/11, so he's 24. Yeah, he's 24 years old. He grew up in Kentucky. One of my mom's boyfriends taught him how to hunt. He grew up not on a farm per se, but he can skin a buck. He can run a trout line. I mean, he's fucking country boy all the way. At 24 years old, he runs his own crew at a parking lot resurfacing company. At the age of 24, he probably, and living in northern Kentucky, he probably makes as much as me and Carrie do combined. Now, he's been living with my sister, because my sister, he's been helping her pay rent. For all intents and purposes, a majority of his paycheck goes to the savings. And because of that, even though he was helping pay rent, he's getting ready to buy his own house at 25 because he was in the position. And a hell of a lot smarter than I was. I was just running my money as quick as I fucking got it back in the day.
Right.
Ooh, weed and beer, let's go.
Yeah.
Right? Weed, beer, and Xboxes, let's go. And that phrase is, it must be nice. Jealousy like that phrase. Hey man, did you hear that Mike got a boat? Must be nice. You don't know how Mike got that boat. You don't know the circumstance of that boat.
Yeah.
Must be nice. That's just your way of saying, he's got something that I wish I had. So if you get someone in your life that uses that phrase more than once, just realize you need to put them in a certain list and realize that
Yeah.
probably won't be the most trustworthy person with your secrets or when you need help.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a
Yeah,
whole.
and I think a lot of people can be guilty of stuff like that. I mean, especially when I was younger,
Mhm.
when I would sit there and look at what happened. I was 19 years old and I had my son. That's the choice that I made. That's the road that I took. Right? That's the road that I took. So, and the road that you took, so it's no different,
Mhm.
So I didn't get the college, education. I didn't get to sit at mom and dad's and count, save my pennies and count my stocks and stuff like that.
But on
I
the
didn't
bright
get to
side,
do
you
any of
don't have
that
that
stuff.
student loan payment either.
True, very true. But and so I didn't, that was the path that I chose. So when you look at it, you're like, well,
that was the game we chose to play, right?
that was the
We
game.
knew, we
That
knew
was the
that
game.
illegal abortions were
Yeah.
legal. The pill was up to the girl's parents to approve when you're a minor.
Mm-hmm.
That was the game we played, and one could argue, at least at the mind state of a 17 or 18-year-old, when you find out your old lady's pregnant, you don't realize until later you won the game. But at that time and in that financial circumstance, you're like, fuck, struck out on that round.
Well, it's battles and wars.
Mm-hmm.
When you break it down like that, you lost that battle. You lost that battle, and you that whole, what am I going to do with my life? And now all of a sudden I'm 17, 18, 19 years old and I'm a father.
But did you?
I was
So,
just where we
so
When
this
you're
is-
comparing though, when we're talking about comparing.
but what? So I don't.
well,
I don't know.
I'm
See,
not trying to look at it as a negative thing or a bad thing or anything
you're looking
like
at
that.
it through the eyes of the 18-year-old who just found out.
Correct.
In my case, the 17-year-old is
Right.
high school that you're
Okay, I
bad.
got you. I mean,
We're not
I'll
looking at
give you
this through the
that.
eyes
Yeah.
of a 40 and 50-year-olds. We're looking at this.
Yeah, like now, God, thank God that happened to me.
Well, that's what I was getting ready to say. Where we won, not financially, but we're young enough that when our kid hit 18, or in Mike's case, your kid's 15, we're close enough to that age to remember what they're going through. Whereas some parents who become when they're 30 and their kid is 15 when they're 50, they're so far from that mindset that they forget what it was like, right?
Yeah.
And so when my daughter was 18, I had my kid at 17. So there wasn't a huge, when she turned 18, I was still young enough to remember and probably still living like I was.
Yeah.
18. So I could relate and understand, whereas someone who's in their 50s, because as you get older, unless you're a complete fucking loser, arrested development, right? So you're supposed to, and naturally, right?
You grow.
As you should. That's
You
why
grow.
adults who are not sick.
Some of us just grew out.
Well, yeah. I mean, of course.
And so, it's like you have.
Yeah. So going back to that point,
have to
Morgan. Yeah. I
change.
mean, we're looking at it as if we were, 17 and 19 years old again.
Because
and you
let's
go,
be
well,
honest, that unless you were born in a Christian family and you intentionally got married to your kindergarten girlfriend in the age 18, most single dudes who aren't married who get the phone call that I'm pregnant, their first fucking thought is, fuck, what am I going to do now?
I lost the battle. I lost the battle.
All
That's
my
the
friends
game that
are
I played. It was a risk that I took. I
And
lost
came
that
up
battle.
surprised.
Now, at the end of it, at 30, how old am I?
I'm only 3.
I'll be 33 this year. At the end of it, I've won the war because I have a respectful 13-year-old son that has manners, that it respects his elders, that does not, is not a scumbag, for lack of a better term. At least to my knowledge, he's not. I get comments on him all the time about how well-behaved and well-mannered he is. And I think that was easier for me because of how young I was when I had him.
Not only that, but he benefited because of how young you were, how early he was born. Imagine being born in fucking 2020.
I mean, it's
for 5 years, or
right.
actually, imagine being born in 2014.
Right.
So what? You have 5 years of your life being locked in your house because of COVID. I mean,
Yeah.
so many of these kids who were in high school who
Yeah.
could you imagine? You go to school for your fucking freshman year and that's it.
Yeah.
Sophomore, junior, senior year, you're fucking at home.
Geez, I would have loved that.
Look, I was a horrible student. Skipped all the time, passed with fucking D's. But at the end of the day, it's true what they say. Those times are the best time in your life, primarily because you're not required to work. And even if you have a shitty childhood,
Yeah. I think
those are
as
the times that
adults
make you the adult you're going to be.
and I think also as adults, I tend to get very, nostalgia is a big word that gets thrown around these days, especially on the platforms and all that stuff. And I tend to get nostalgic about a lot of different things too. And my high school days at the time, as much as I may have not liked, the things about them, and the times I didn't want to be there, and whether it was drama or whatever, I would give anything sometimes to go back
Oh,
for a
absolutely.
day or
Oh,
a couple
gosh,
days,
yeah.
or to go back and just redo some shit. How fun, how much fun. I mean, I had more fun in high school than I think I had throughout my entire 20s.
Could you imagine, like, if you got stuck in the Groundhog Day loop, but instead of it a day, it was from the last day of school to the last weekend of summer? Just that on repeat, like your fucking junior year of high school, old enough to drive.
Oh my
And
gosh, that would be
that would be
amazing.
your Groundhog Day,
Wow.
just the last day of school. Everybody saw you got that, we all think of the scene from Days and Confused, school's out for summer, from that until like the last weekend of the summer, and you just relive that.
Man, where do I sign up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Well, and I would even go as far as to say, because I was a band nerd, and I mean, even some people that wanted to play football and stuff like that, or that the Boys of Fall. I mean, maybe reliving all the way up into the the first few months of school or something like that, and being able to relive that would be amazing.
Oh yeah, that'd be pretty dope too.
Your first
Friday night
semester,
football.
your
Yeah.
first semester of senior year of high school, from the last week of fucking junior year all the way through, that would have been awesome.
Do you remember? Obviously, every school is different. Some people start in August, some people start in September. But do you remember your first August or your first September after you graduated high school and you woke up and said, "Fuck, I'm not going to school tomorrow. What am I going to do now?" Like, because that's when it
See-
really kicks in, right? When you graduate high school, you go to the senior parties, but you've done this 12 times. This whole end of the year thing, you've done this 12, or in my case, 13 times. But it's when the next school year starts and all the juniors,
Mine was 13 times too.
all the juniors that you hung out with the previous year going back to start their senior year, like, oh,
Yeah.
fuck, I'm never going to have a first day of school ever again.
And it's interesting well, for me and Morgan, I think that might have been a little bit different, because when
Yeah,
did
you
you
guys were
join the military?
military.
Like, how old were you? 18, 19?
I was 19 when I joined. Yeah.
19. So a little bit different for me, because I mean, when I joined in and did my split op and all that stuff, I was 17.
Mm.
So it was a
Guys
little
had
bit
a
different
first day,
situation, because
You had
I
that
also
structure.
graduated. I didn't graduate in May like everyone else did, or June, or we walked June 6th. It was a Saturday. We walked that day. I graduated in January. How I managed, me of all people who used to, I mean, I was mostly a C average student, but I had like, C, D's, and a couple F's here and there in high school, because I really didn't apply myself and I didn't give a shit, and I wasn't thinking about being 33-year-old, in a fucking doing a podcast with you two, so and being a dirty old fucking plumber or anything like that.
Came off like an
Yeah.
insult.
Yeah.
I feel slapped down now. But
Well, not in a negative way for you guys, but what I'm saying is I wasn't thinking about my future. I wasn't thinking about any of that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? I was just, fuck it, I was living in the moment, right? And and me of all people graduating in January, a semester early. That was so bizarre when they said, "Yeah, you got enough credits, you don't have to come back." And I was like, Are you fucking serious? Like, what the fuck? So it was
See
a little
you in
bit.
June.
Yeah, it was a little bit different because I kind of feel like I got cut short.
Yeah.
And I also missed out on I didn't go to prom or anything like that. I was in Missouri training. So all that shit was gone, you know what I mean?
This has been a Digital 410 production.